Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, Thank you for hosting me today. Today, my name is Muhammad Shalan. We will be talking about a very unique topic that's related to business using business process in management to enhance innovative contracting and agile contracts. This is a very unique topic that we'll be discussing today. Actually, I'm Muhammad Shalan, working as head of technology for Aqarat Real Estate Development Company here in Saudi Arabia, part of Al Isai Group. And also, I am the Digital Transformation Director for Project Management Institute Saudi chapter. And today, I have managed by myself some projects related in different countries related to technology and smart contracting and additional services. So today, we will be talking about this topic very unique. Uh, Next, please. Okay. Today we have five topics that we will be starting. The first topic that we will be talking about is in our agenda is what is we have actually what is the traditional contracts and why you need to transform contracting behaviors. This is the first topic that we will talk about. Then we will move into what are the challenges that we are facing with the traditional contracts and why we need to change these contracts. Later on, we will talk about the new contracting paradigm and how we will use this contracting paradigm to make new contracts for us. Additionally, we will be talking about the business process management and how this can add value for us. This is actually the topics, and then we'll start some use cases. Why we need to transform contracting? Because in here, as you see, everything technology is moving like exponential, and while technology is moving exponential, that means we cannot keep with everything with it. So, for example, the economy, the culture, the public policies will not be moving in the same direction as it is for the technology. For this reason, actually, we have to move a kind of transformation. What is the difference between transformation and change? Actually, in transformation, you are making a new future. For example, when caterpillar is moving from caterpillar to full fly butter, then it is like this is transformation. While in case there is a skin change for a snake, for example, it is only a change. Now, for us and for contracting, we are talking about smart contracting. We are talking about a new style of contracting that is required. So this is complete change, actually. This is what we need to do. And here, actually, why this is inevitable, actually, why it's important we transform the contracts. We have two codes, actually, we need to touch on. The first code is that because the rule of law is going to be really interesting in the future. And in a few decades, actually, it's the economy is changing. Everything is changing. So we have also to change the contracts so that it will be a kind of collaborative thing between multiple people who are dealing with these contracts and managing these contracts. And I will talk about smart cities in a while, about how this will help us to have why we need this kind of innovative contracting. The other code actually I'm talking about is that lawyers actually will not be replacing lawyers, of course. But as we see, the load on lawyers have been enhanced or increased dramatically during the last few times because we have more contracts than what we had before. And for this reason, actually, we have to complement this actually by a kind of machines. So there is a kind of machines that we are complementing and also people, lawyers working. For this, actually, we need to have like both working together. So we'll not get rid of lawyers, but we have to complement them. This is one thing. Now, once we go into traditional contracts, why we need to move these traditional contracts and move to a new paradigm? First of all, actually, as you know, currently what we are doing, we have some kind of planning. So the business people actually will come with new ideas, and these ideas they will put it in some draft and put it to the legal department. Legal department will come and authorize this, make it in a formal presentation or formal text, and then they will go to approve it from the business, from the management. And after that, we have to negotiate actually before. So we negotiate the contract in case it's good for both parties. Then it will go for approving. And once it's approved and signed, then it will go into execution. After that, there's a contract management process. With the increased number of contracts, this is being a big hustle actually, and because there's a lot of things. First thing that legal people will not understand exactly what is everything about the contract. So there is a lot of communication coming back and forth, and this is making a lot of issues and a lot of delays for everyone. So for this reason, actually, we are thinking how we can move from this traditional contracting mechanism into a new innovative contracting. Actually, what we'll have in here, for example, in contracting, what we see today as of the challenges, we have the contracting, for example. Instead, we have increased dependency on business and relation between business and between different contractors. Because, for example, with digital transformation, with industrial revolution, fourth industrial revolution, we are talking about number of increased contracts, and this will need a lot of collaboration, a lot of activities that need to be done. So we have to cater for it. The knowledge management, actually, out of all these legal cases that we have today, out of all these documentation, we have to manage actually the knowledge and mine it in somehow so that everyone can get use of it. Today, as we are putting it in file cabinets, it will be difficult for us to make and to move with. The third thing, actually, the legal practitioner. Legal practitioners or lawyers, actually, they are under pressure because they need to understand some kind of business. It's not cannot yani we cannot rely today that lawyers will only rely on themselves, not on in the business for everything. They need to understand what's a technology, what's emerging technologies, how this will come, so that they become specialized in certain areas. And for this, actually, it will be difficult for small teams to manage to have every capacity and every specialty. The contractors themselves, actually, you will have today multiple contractors. I'll take an example of the smart city, for example. In normal city, in normal development, we have like 4 or 5 contractors. But if you are going to smart city, then you are going to hundreds of contractors who are managing IoT, managing big data, managing cameras, managing every device. So this is like a big change that we need to cater for. The change management, usually in normal contracting, when you build a house, you have a full design about the house, you give it to the contractor, he will implement this contractor easily without any changes. Or we will try to have it like this to avoid the cost overrun or the quality issues. But this is not the case, actually. While you are dealing with technology, there is a lot of technologies that moving and going. And for this, you need to cater for these changes. Sometimes you have to stop the project at the middle, or you have to continue it, or to change the technology. So there is a lot of issues that you need to do. Also, the legal frameworks themselves, actually, you will find there is a lot of issues related to the legal frameworks that you need to cater. This actually is creating a lot of contracting risks for us that we need to take care about. Uh, so the first issue actually is the communication. You see that today we have a lot of communication that is going on between everyone in the project actually, or the contracting cycle. So we have to cater about it and make sure that everything is working fine. And we have, instead of communication through email or through normal topics, we have to communicate through uh, collaboration tools that will make it easy for everyone. It will save time for everyone. The second thing actually is related to human error. A lot of issues is related to the error actually of humans, why they are making mistakes, because they are under pressure and they are doing a lot of activities. So what we are trying to do actually is that we have a kind of decision matrix. So in case any human is doing an error or something, he can go back and find what is the right solution and the correct issue. So something will stop him. Second thing we have, or the third thing actually, is the wasting time. Because today there is a lot of projects, a lot of contracts, a lot of people who are collaborating with each other, and you see now it's virtually even. Then there is a lot of wasted time waiting for others to continue and to complete. Today, this will save a lot of time in case we automate this and make it like an automated activity. The legal reviews, actually, when you go to a legal review, it will be taking some time because it's a hierarchy and a lot of people are working to have reviews. So it's very important we cater about it and we manage how we will handle these reviews. It will be automatic, like spell checking or something like this will be automatic, will be easier for everyone to manage. The language. Number point five actually is the language. Actually, some lawyers tend to put contracts like general because they don't need to be lost on the details or in business issues. So actually today it's not it's not invitable to put contracts just in this style. So we have to go into details sometimes, and it's very important for us. So that we need to check the language. It's a specialized language related to the contract, like related to the topic that we are talking about. The other issue actually is inefficient storage. Today we are storing our contracts in our files, in our shared folders, in our even papers. So actually this will not be helpful to collect data out of these contracts or to analyze them. For this reason, what we are trying to do is we are now needing to analyze all these information automatically so that we can get value out of these and make lessons learned out of all these actually. The hidden risks, there is a lot of hidden risks made based on the lessons learned before the depository of information. So it's time actually to understand and to know how we will do that and how we will make benefit of it. Also, there's a kind of automatic triggers. Now, that will cater for the missing deadlines, because you know when there is a lot of contracts, sometimes you will miss these deadlines, and then we will miss the incentives that's coming of it, or we have penalties. So this is will cater actually. So this is how we are mitigating the risk in the new paradigm by utilizing automation, decision making, and something like this. This is what I'm here talking about is a smart city. This is a case, real case actually of what we are having today. I'm working for a real estate developer, actually master developer. Usually we have big land, like 1 million square meter, then we divide it into small plots and sell it like plots. This was like we have only 5, 6 contracts who are managing all this stuff for us, putting sewage, putting streets, lighting, and electricity, and something like this. Then we'll sell it as a finished product. But today, actually, the market is changing, and people are not looking into only finished plots. They are looking for smart city. They need someone to operate. They need someone to take care about Internet of Things, the cameras, the security, the operation, the smart health. So everything we are talking about different issues. So people are expecting more and more. And for this expectation, actually, we cannot run. So we will have maybe 100 contractors or 200 contractors running for us, and it will not be easy. So we are moving from 5 contractors to let's say 100 or 200 contractors, and it's a big issue actually. And more about that, actually you are thinking about operation as well. So instead of we finish the product in the project in 2, 3 years, and then we hand it to the end users actually, who will build their houses and something like this. Now we have to manage the whole project for them, and you have to manage and operate the infrastructure for them for a long time. So this is actually another hustle, and we have to take care about when to do it, how to make the waste management for in the future, how to do. So this case for smart city is a real case why we need a lot of contracting innovation rather than the standard and traditional contract that we have. So in here we are talking about the features of the new contracting paradigm. We have multiple features that will help us actually to mitigate these risks and to manage our activities. The first thing actually is the provider themselves. When we are signing contracts with big vendors, like for example, when you are acquiring a cloud from Google, for example, then they will dictate actually their rules and their contracts. So you have to start and find how you will manage this issue and how you will cater this into your contracts with your suppliers, with everything. So in case some provider is dictating the rules on you, so you have to find how you will manage this. The second thing actually is the flexible scope. When we are talking about flexible scope, meaning that when I design a smart city that will last for 50, 30 years, uh, this is actually a long time, and a lot of changes is expected. So we have to cater for some time actually to acquire the right technology at the right time. We cannot design everything from day one, because it is a long project and it cannot be designed from day one. So we have to cater for this in a flexible scope, and every contractor should know this actually. The other thing actually is about the layered structure. Layered structure is meaning that I have main contractor, I have another contractors, and have multiple level of contractors. How I will mitigate this and how I will manage all this story, it's not an easy job actually today. The fourth thing that we need to talk is about incremental deliverables. Sometimes what we are doing actually, we have incremental deliverables. So instead of having all the activities delivered in one shot, we can acquire, or we can actually think about one by one deliverable. If it's fine, then we are fine with it. We can continue. We have some iterations and something like this. This is like what's in Google is doing in Google, for example. They are doing a lot of iterations. Either they will kill the product after that, or they will continue the product. And similarly, this is what we are doing actually in our business. So it's the same. The change management actually, when we design, for sometimes you allocate for the scope as it's flexible. But sometimes when you contract with a vendor, while you sign and while you contract, you'll find different technology or new technology, or you find a new challenge. So for this, actually, you have to make your mind and change this. So you agree with the contractor that you will change a lot of activities, he will change it for you, and then everyone will be happy in a new style rather than just it's to hate change as we used to do in the current contracting style. The last issue actually is about the contract termination. Sometimes some companies actually don't need to continue the contract for them because they are going out of business for different business. They are making different issues. So instead of having penalties on them, it's easy. Now we need to make it easy. Anyone who need to get rid of the contract, it will be easy for him to terminate the contract. It will be for everyone, for the benefit of everyone. Of course, there will be a kind of mutual agreement, but we need to cater about this kind of mutual agreement and how we will manage this kind of agreement. Now we will talk to how business process management will add value to this contracting style that we are talking about, and how it's really needed to have a kind of automation, business process management, artificial intelligence, all these technologies actually to have it so that we can start making benefit out of it. First thing is about the agile mindset. When you are agile, when you are making into phases, into iterations, then it cannot go rigid actually, and you cannot have a full contract of 5,000 pages from day one. So you have to have a kind of mindset that you are changing. So you need a tool that will help you to cater for these changes and how you are doing and how you are changing. So this is very important, and it can be catered by business process management. Also, when we go for the business value, actually, now we are contracting for a value. We are not contracting just for termination of clause or do this, do not do that. We need to have value for everyone because the users are expecting a lot of us, and we have to deliver the value, to measure the value, and to see. And this actually need to be somehow or governance, how we will manage it. So we need the tool actually to manage this. Operation flexibility. As I told you, actually, when we have cameras, we have internet, we have sensors, we have something like this, then there's a lot of data that's coming every day, and we need to manage all this data that's coming and how we will handle all this data. So we need a kind of flexibility to manage our contracts and our resources. Navigation clarity, actually, we are agile, so we are thinking here, then we are moving to another direction or something like this. So it's very important how we will manage and how we will navigate. Also for the smart features, there's a lot of features that's coming out of new contracts. For example, we have smart contracts, we have a lot of things. So it's really amazing how we will utilize this kind of features to make benefit for us and to use it. I will be talking here about some use cases about process specifically for business process management, how we can use these cases. This case actually we have multiple cases. We have like 8 cases, but maybe for the sake of time, I'll mention part of them, and the other part we can be mentioned later or something like this. The first thing I'll be talking about is the contract lifecycle management. Contract lifecycle management, meaning that when you have a contract, you have to manage the whole story. Instead of we have lawyers writing this contract, then we have standard templates, and these templates can be modified, can be changed, can be enhanced or something like this. So you have a lot of things that you can do in these kind of contracts, and you have to track it everywhere. We have also the smart contract. Smart contract is something related to business process management as well as blockchain, so that you can eliminate the need for someone in the middle who will host the credentials for you or host the contract, and you can, for example, in case you are receiving some shipment from the United States, for example, once you receive that shipment, it can be directly bill your account rather than you are paying in advance. So this is a kind of how you automate the process and make it easy for everyone. So for these cases, actually, for example, we have also robotics. Robotics is for the legal advice. We have a lot of cases we will have where we have legal advices going on and making a lot of activities. So this is actually the smart contract. What we have been talking for is that based on blockchain as well business process automation, then you can find this kind of networking, and you don't have someone in the middle. So it will be a trigger. For example, instead of I'm paying for the product in advance, I can pay directly when I receive the goods at my home. For example, if I case with eBay or I ask someone to do. So this is actually what we are for the smart contracts. This will help actually everyone, because rather than everyone is going and paying in advance or making something, he will be easy making it. Now we have, for example, for contract lifecycle management, as I told you, we have the traditional level, first of all, like it was traditional, and how we manage. Now we are managing this automatically through a kind of collaboration control. We are checking every aspect of the contract for mitigation, for compliance, and for integration and optimization with the conditions that we have. We can have a kind of matrix, authority matrix, and responsibility matrix, and activity matrix, so that every activity that is done by a lawyer can be done this way. What also we have, for example, the robotic legal advice. Like, for example, we have all heard about Watson, about this, but here we have some, these are real robots actually. You can find them on the internet or the iPad or unpaid. For example, the Don't Pay T is a robot that in case you are have a fine for parking somewhere, this then instead of going to a legal department or putting a case, then you can utilize this kind of robot. This robot will help you in identifying, are you really should pay this tax or not. So something like this, it will be based on a lot of information and a lot of data gathering. So it will analyze this information. We have Lisa, for example. Lisa is an advisor, like personal advisor, that will help on making confidentiality agreement and non-disclosure agreement. It will help you how to put these terms and how to manage them. Ross, for example, Ross is a platform that is making, based on Watson, actually, IBM Watson. It's collecting every legal case from everywhere, and it's putting it so that it's analyzing it. And as a lawyer, you can understand how it's moving and what will do. Similarly, for example, for Automino, it's a kind of personal assistant that will help you understand your requirement. It will chat with you what you are doing and then how you will manage something like this. So by this, you have someone who will listen to you, will give you initial advice. So rather than you are going to a lawyer, you can go to a robot. And this robot actually, based on his history, based on the information that was collected from different resources, he will be able to listen to you and advise you what is the best approach for you and what to do. So this is a kind of, it's related between business process management, between artificial intelligence. So this is actually something what we are doing. I have here also more cases, actually, your cases for how to use BPM in this innovative contracting. One thing is the collaboration, actually, how we will increase and enhance collaboration. Something else is related to agile contracting, because we have different contracts, and as I told, we are all about agile. The thing also I need to talk about is how we transform the legal department, because it's very important that everyone will transform, not the technology department only, but we have to transform every business department, including the legal departments, because the people will have something actually in their mind. Now you need to change a lot of activities for them. When we are talking about the first business case in the previous slide, actually, I was talking about collaboration. And in collaboration, I need to state that actually we are moving from dumb contracts that we have used to some time, and to reshape it actually. We are reshaping the contract management solutions like a kind of relationship resource planning actually. So first of all, instead of we having documents, now every contract will be linked to a suite of data, and it will be put in a data so that everyone will know how to utilize this data in an intelligent manner rather than having a dumb contract or a dumb documents. Another thing actually is related to the risk transfer. Usually we used to transfer risk between the supplier and the contractor. But now this is not the case actually. We are trying to have to add value so that we will find the best way who will manage every risk so that we can go ahead and find the value, how we maximize the value for us. The third thing actually is from moving from boundaries to pathways. Usually we talk about contracts like it's putting some limitations, some borders. And actually, this was the first style. But today we are talking about pathway. When we are talking about contract, then the issue is how we will manage all this contract and how we can find a way for us to find a solution for every problem that we are having. So this is actually a kind of moving the contracts from the rigid environment that we have or we used to have and moving it into a kind of relation management solution that we are doing and we are managing and handling. Uh, as I talked, actually, agile, there is what we call agile. Agile is we can have manage the terms. We have multiple paths that we can move in. It's easy, flexibility. So we have to cater all this actually agility into our contracts and how we will manage them. It's very important actually how our contracts will accommodate the agility of our projects, our flexibility, how we are managing. But this actually does not mean that we don't have rules to manage or we just leave it and everyone he want to manage as what he need. So this in here comes the contracting actually. So in here it's coming the contracting governance, how you will put everyone accountable, accountable and responsible and to take care about everything. So this is actually what we are talking about. It's very important that we are considering this. The last 2 3 slides I have in like I have just a few minutes left. So I will talking about the legal department actually, how we will make the legal department transform them, how we will educate people, what to do with these people, so that everyone will be able to manage his uh, position and manage his activities in the contracting style. It's very important actually. So this is actually we need to learn people, we need to educate people. Everyone need to have his sense actually. A lot of activities need to be communicated between the legal department. They need to understand the value of technology. They need to understand the value of data that they are doing and catering. So it's really very important today that we handle our uh, legal departments and manage these departments in a manner that will help them actually to get to add value to and work in different style that they used to manage and handle before. So this actually is almost and we are done. We have like what I need to tell actually later on is that we have it's very important that we have the law is changing, it's transforming in a good manner. But of course, it's every day we are moving into new contract and you are moving into different contracting style. It's very important for us to cater for a lot of things. The important fingerprint that I need you to take out of this actually is that we have today, based on business process management, based on emerging technologies, we have a lot of things that we are handling. So we have like contract life cycle management. We have what's called agile contracting. We are talking about innovative contracting, and we are talking about how the business process can serve to have all these activities actually in something good. We are talking about smart contracts, which will make a huge difference when it's implemented. It's there for a lot of activities. So really, it's amazing, and we are doing a lot of changes. We are expecting a lot of changes in the contracting style. It's very important for us because we cannot manage as we did before. So this is how we are moving toward innovative contracting. This is a hot topic today because it's very important topic and a lot of people are talking about it. So this is from my side. And in case you have any questions, I don't know. Back to you.